Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. Welcome to the end of the week. Hope you've all had a fantastic week so far. Let me know in the comments how your trading has been. Are you green on the week? Do you intend on trading today? What is your plan for the last day of the week? We're going to run through the charts quickly this morning, have a look at daily bias, but I really want to dive deep into the NQ short that I took during London this morning for a win. So I think it'd be great value for the community to share my insights and why I took that position. So we're going to dive into that straight after we run through daily bias. Let's start on the calendar. Here we go with Friday, and we have no news today. So just having the volatility coming at New York Open. We'll be waiting for then to see what happens and look for a position. Alrighty, jumping straight to the charts, grabbing those Tradeify evals and Apex evals. Tradeify 30% off, 40% off for new users. Code Jimmy Trades. Apex 80% off. Code Jimmy. Alrighty. All right, here we are, NQ on the daily. We got our bias right yesterday. We took out the high. We got that Trump pump, I believe. Now I'd be looking for previous day high as a low-hanging fruit right now, respecting the 50% level of the previous day's range, looking for this high. Following on from that, potentially next week, we'll look for this high here, because if we get this high taken out and a closure above these opposing candles, I'll be looking for price to run higher, respecting that level. So essentially, if we close today something like this, and then look to see next week, potentially do something like this. All right. But for today, just looking for this high as our draw. Moving over to ES. Now ES did take that high as well. So we're looking for low-hanging fruit. I'm just going to clear that off there. Previous day high. We did close back inside the range, so we'll keep an eye on that. We are respecting the 50% level, or the equilibrium of the previous day's range. But as we respect that level, as we continue to respect that level, then I'll look for previous day high as the low-hanging fruit. Okay, and same deal with ES. If we see it close above these opposing candles today, then that'll set up longs for next week. All right, oil on the daily. We got the bias wrong yesterday. We had a bearish bias. We were running with the idea that there was an SMT with RB out of this bearish FEG, and we had a candle closure back inside the range. So that was why we were looking to be bearish. We got that wrong. And in fact, it was quite a bullish day. And it looks like we're continuing to be bullish here now. So we'll look for a price to continue on here. We're moving past the EQ of this bearish FEG. So therefore, I'd be seeking out this daily high as a potential draw. We'll then have these opposing candles, rather this opposing candle, to see how price reacts there. Alrighty. So bullish for oil. Euro. We've now closed through this series of up close candles on the daily. We're into a bullish FVG here. And we've swept out previous day lows. So what I'd be looking for here, price to probably run up a little bit here before we continue to move lower. So we got the bias wrong on 6E yesterday. We were looking for price to run higher. We didn't get that. Okay, but this is what I'll be looking for today. Let's see what we've got going on with Dixie. And Dixie ran higher, inversely correlated to Euro. A similar deal. Looking for respect of these opposing down close candles. And then looking for a push up off of there. So we're into this bearish gap. And we're having a reaction. So let's look to be bearish. And if price runs down to this level, then we can reassess and we can pivot. Moving over to GU. Yeah, I like GU. We swept out the low here. Getting a nice push higher here. We've got a nice wick to the downside. Potential for price to run higher. We would have liked to have seen another sweep of this low here. But we are now reacting off these up close candles. So if we utilize those as a point of interest, then we're at that level now, and we could see price fall down from here. All right, so I think I might leave GU with a bearish bias there. So we got it right yesterday. Let's see how we go today. We are coming back up inside the range, but I want to see how price reacts to these opposing candles. The interested level there would be up here around this EQ of the bodies, and let's see what happens there. All right, let's head back to NQ. Well, actually, lastly, Bitcoin here on the daily. And get rid of our bearish targets because we had a beautiful run here yesterday. We're at our level 1 target on the weekly. Or even use the bodies here. We're actually at the -2 to 2.5 on the weekly. So I had that marked out better now. On the daily, we can look at where we are there. And in a nice move up into the -2 to 2.5 here. Look at they're overlapping. Great move. So, while we respect the top portion, we have swept out previous day highs, so just want to be mindful of that. But there is potential for price to want to expand from here. Alternatively, we might watch to see price react from the EQ of the previous day's range. Alrighty, let's jump over to NQ. Let's have a look at this trade that I took during London. So it was pretty simple. Alrighty, so we're over on MNQ. That's where I took the trade. It's the cleanest setup. We were inside a bearish FEG here. So this is our high time frame point of interest. All right. So let's go back to the 1 minute. And this is the position. So let's see how we framed it. Let's roll back. Alrighty. So at this moment in time, we're in a high time frame point of interest. We get a stop hunt. Okay. We run out the high here, and we've got a breaker, or what's going to be a breaker, or potentially a breaker. So this is our order block that becomes a breaker block if, or it becomes a failed order block, and that is what forms our breaker block. So I'm watching now as price enters this critical time, which is our 4 a.m. macro. Let's see what happens. Immediately displace through the breaker. We have a change in state of delivery. We have an inversion. With our breaker plus FVG aligned. We've got an inversion, breaker, plus a change in state of delivery. Can run our standard deviations out using the bodies. We're going to market order into this trade. That's exactly what I did. I market ordered in. So I got in around here, and I'm going to target 2R. Okay, let's see how we go. Bang, 2R. So it's at this moment that I added to my position, because now I want to see these relative equal lows swept. So I put a TP down here. I'm front running the low, this London low. Right here, price comes in, equal lows. It misses my position on my TP by a tick. In fact, it might have rested on it. So I've already moved to break even. As we move forward here, we get stopped out in break even for the rest of our positions. But I wanted to see this low taken. Okay. So as we move forward here, right now, a couple of things happen. SMT. SMT with ES. We get an inversion. On that inversion, I market order in, stop at the high. Just want this low. That's all I want now. And let's see how we go. For me, the draw on liquidity was that London low. Boom. There it is. 2 positions taken on NQ. Really, really pleased with that trade. Let me know in your comments if you want to know any more information about the trade I took here. Hopefully this provided you with some great information you can apply to your own trading plan. Thanks guys for tuning in. Be sure to follow us in Trade Foundry if you want to see more setups like this. We trade there 4 to 5 days a week live. It's for free. So be sure to join us over there. The link is in the description. Share the video far and wide, guys. Give us a like as well. And take care. Bye for now.